Hi guys, how you guys doing? I'm doing great. You're watching Andy WTH. Of course, I'm Andy, and we're going to talk about Big Brother celebrity, where the game is, and what happened last week, potential mistakes, the HOH, and other players, and also the three different power of vetoes out there that America is voting on, and basically all three vetoes could screw up the HOH this week. It's not good for the HOH at all. That's my concern. That's what I'm thinking. But we'll talk about the effects of that as well as the rest of the game. Let's first of all talk about last week. Last week, who was the HOH? Was Mrs. Columbia. And she decided, I'm going to go after the big fish in the game. All right. Good idea. Sure, I would have. But how would you do it without having a big target put on your back? And that's where she went wrong. Okay, I'm going to tell you why. I would have went up to Shannon and James and said, okay, guys, listen. This is what I need to do. I need to backdoor Omarissa. Okay? She's really dangerous, so on and so forth. They'll agree. Oh, yeah, we would have been after her from day one. They would have bought that story like you wouldn't believe. So you would put them up. They would not have been upset. They would have competed. And let's say, as James would have won, which he has, then instead of putting up Mark, okay, and the reason I would not have put up Mark is this. What happened if the vote would have went bad? Right? And your main target, Shannon, ended up staying in the house, and Mark ended up going out the door. Then your whole HOH was useless. But I would have put up Omarissa instead. Then they would have said, okay, there's a backup plan. Make sure the votes, vote her out, Shannon, and Omarissa would still be in the house, and should have been gunning for you anyways. You know she is. She's been gunning for you from day one. So what would have changed? Not a damn thing. Right? So that's what I would have done. That was a huge mistake on her part. Big mistake as far as the nomination, because it's going to bite her this week or going forward. Because now, guess what? Mark is now looking at her and saying, well. I'm going to go after you when I have a chance. Now you have somebody else going after you. So great. Instead of one person, now you got two. Because James would have followed suit. Then James would have said, well, what happened? You could have said to James, well, I don't know what happened. Don't ask me. And maybe they could have flipped the script with him and say, we're going to vote Shannon instead because she's a bigger comp threat. Then he would have maybe bought that at the end. But anyways, that's where it's at. That was a mistake on her part, how she set the table up for the rest of her game, and I see that her game down the road because of that bad move. Now, yeah, that's right. Let's talk about the vote, which was really dumb. This is when, not the vote itself was dumb, but what happened after the vote. Basically, everybody voted, and there was one vote that was for Mark. And they're like, the rest of the alliance of four, or just four of them, but the other three were thinking, what the hell happened? How come the vote didn't go the way we're thinking? Like, it just doesn't make sense. Who voted for her? Or him, excuse me. And Brandy decided, I'm going to tell. So she turns around and tells her alliance, oh, I decided to vote for Mark. And right away, that put a big mistrust in her from the rest of her alliance, which is going to hurt her game now going forward. All right? Because if you have one or two, if you have her and another alliance member in your alliance, who are you going to keep? One that you trust or the one that you don't? So right away, she's now at a deficit for gameplay with her own alliance. That means now she's on the bottom. Now what she should have done is, keep her mouth shut. When you vote in the diary room, you don't have to tell anybody. All right? Really, you don't do that. but she did, and now she cannot use that to her advantage. Excuse me, that lone vote, she could have planted on somebody else. But no, she just took it. Look, she owned it. I voted that way. Well, now you own it. Now you got it. So there's no way you can flip that away from you. Now you own it. So you own it. It's gonna hurt your game. Now, who won the HOH was quite surprising, as far as I'm concerned. This is the other mistake as well by Brandy and her own alliance. Omarissa won the HOH. So how did she win it? Well, it was a good game move by James. I said, well, wait a minute, really? Well, he's up there with her, and she made a deal with him to say, hey, I'll keep you safe this week, so on and so forth. Just give me the HOH, no back door, so on and so forth. So he's like thinking, okay, well, I'm looking over there. All those people that's sitting over there are against me, and potentially I can make an alliance with her, and potentially a few others that are over there that are floating around like me. Mark, I meant a world peace, obviously. So he cut the deal, and by cutting that deal, next week or next HOH, he can actually compete. So that was it. The best move of the week for him. Great move. Now, Omarissa now is the HOH. Now, this is where the big mistake comes up in the game. They go up there and talk to her. The alliance of 4, some of them going up there, whatever. And remember, guys, if you have, if somebody's not in your alliance, and one thing you do not want to do is give them information. Information is power. They can use that power for themselves to twist it to their own advantage, right? So if they're not on your team, keep your mouth shut. So what did they do? They went up there, and Brandy looked at Omarissa, says, yeah, I voted for Mark. She's like, oh, well, thank you very much. I appreciate the information. And the rest of her alliance also said that. And they kind of feel that maybe they don't trust her. That's what, So she's like, oh, good. I love it. There's a fracture in the alliance. So basically, that's what I was telling her, right? That's what I mean, come on. So what does she do? She decides to put up Ross, which makes sense because he put up her during his HOH time. And she turns around and says, Brandy, you're taking a seat right beside him. Oh, okay. Great. That's not what that's just great. She's there. And now, right at the moment, she got the vote to vote out Ross. Now, this is where the kicker is, okay, guys? Is those 3 damn vetoes that everybody is voting on. That's going to hurt her game if it's the wrong person that wins it. All right? You got the diamond veto. You got the VIP veto. And the spotlight veto, excuse me. Okay, the diamond, well, the diamond power veto is basically to have the power, which is a huge power, which is they can not just only pull a nominee off the block, but they can themselves select themselves the replacee. So that's a huge power because whoever's got that power could flip the House the other way in votes and change the game from here on out, how it's going to go. So that's a huge power, and that could actually hurt HOH this week big time because her target, Ross, for an example, may not go home, or none of her targets actually may go home. Maybe one of her own alliance member may go home. That's how powerful this veto is. So it can actually flip the game big time. Now, the other one called the VIP veto, which is the same idea. They could use it or not use it. And it's basically they can replace both nominees, but the difference is the HOH will have to pick the replacement, but it doesn't matter because that person can replace up to 2 nominees. So, in a nutshell, this could force the HOH, which is still not good, replace both nominees, potentially, with other house guests, more blood on their hands. Well, really would be more blood, no, be out of her control, and flips the house again. That's dangerous. Now, the spotlight veto, has to be used no matter what. Again, that could flip the house. Depends who wins it. If it's so, all these three scenarios may not work to the advantage of the HOH. Really, honestly, Omarissa, she needs to win this veto tonight. Okay, it doesn't matter which one it is. She needs to win it. Okay, that way, if she wins it, then her HOH week, or 3 days actually, would be successful. If anybody else other than her, it could have potential damage to her game. And that is going to be very interesting tonight. See where it's going to go from here. Basically, that's how it goes right now. So right now, how I see it, for alliance-wise, you got Brandy, Mrs. Columbia, Marissa, and Ross is one side, and then the other side you got Omarissa, Meta World Peace, and James and Mark. So tonight, after the vote, we're going to see some potential big changes in the game. We're going to see some potential big flips in the game, and her HOH may not be as successful as she was hoping it was going to be. It could end into a complete disaster for her tonight. We're going to see how that works out. I can't wait. Can't wait to see. So anyways, watch Andy, WTH. I'm Andy. Thank you for watching. We'll see you guys soon.